in my kitchen.
Welcome back, Cindy Dole here. You're listening to Home Wizards, your radio home for all things home, garden, and life improvement. With me, my friend Eric Stromer, who, of course, you know from HGTV and DIY, and you may not know that he actually knows how to repair things as a contractor.
25 years in the business.
So you're really kind of interested in seeing all this stuff at the International Builder Show.
And every year, you know, there's some new innovation that really throws you and makes you real excited about the industry.
Now,
so, yes.
when you were doing that before you became a glamorous TV star,
yes,
and wore that tool belt even lower because you're a TV star.
That's right.
You weren't wearing it like that when you were just a contractor.
No, I wasn't. I just put a screwdriver in my pocket and called it a day.
But, I mean, were you being green as a contractor then, ever?
You always had an eye toward trying to get there, but at that time, you know, I was in this business, you know, as a legitimate contractor about 5 years ago until I got into the TV thing. And it just wasn't really affordable, and it wasn't as well known as it is today.
Okay.
I kind of wish it was.
Well, that is our segue to our guest here, Rich Schwolsky. Rick Schwolsky. And he is the editor-in-chief of Ecohome magazine. It is one of the sister magazines of Handley Wood Publishing, and which puts out Builders magazine, which is one of the sponsors that puts on this show, the International Builders Show. So welcome to the radio program,
Rick. Thank you very
Rick.
much. Really happy to be here.
Yeah, and so you also are a contractor. You were saying that you are a carpenter.
I'm retired. I was in the construction business for 20 years. Custom home builder, member of NAHB, and I think this is my 30th International Builder Show.
I can't believe you still have feet that work after all that walking through the convention center.
That's true, but I still also have all my fingers.
And that's a good sign.
Yeah.
So, but there is a Band-Aid on his thumb.
That's true.
So, you know, you never know what's going on. All right, so tell us, for those who are listening as consumers, right?
Right.
Here you are looking at the big picture of what this Builder Show is all about. And what we heard at the news conference that kind of kicked things off was that, there's even a bigger message of being green and efficient. Is that something, here you are, the editor-in-chief of Ecohome. Does that ring true to you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've been watching this. Green buildings, an overnight success, having only taken 30 years to really arrive. But certainly over the last 6 years, especially at the International Builder Show, you see more and more focus on this with manufacturers. I think especially within the last 2 to 3 years, you see some real credible efforts on them to substantiate and back up their claims and really tell their story in a real way, instead of the greenwashing that Eric referred to.
So are you seeing greenwashing quite a bit?
Greenwashing.
And what does that really mean
to
the public?
Well, greenwashing basically
shenanigans.
Means stretching the truth about your claims, whether it's about performance or the environmental effects of a product or your manufacturing processes. All of these things, you'll see all kinds of like green leaf logos on products. And it extends beyond building products. I think it actually started outside of the building industry. And it's really stretching the truth about how environmentally friendly a product really is. And it's something really to be careful about in looking at any kind of consumer product or building product.
You know what's encouraging to me is now suppliers are starting to stock items that traditionally we had to go online and hunt and peck for. Now it's available in our local urban centers where we can actually find these materials, and that doesn't slow up the contractor in terms of his process of finding the materials to, in fact, use them within the project itself.
Right, yeah. They're making their way through the supply chain much better than they used to, but still, you could go to a lumberyard or a home improvement center and find someone in the aisle who has no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
Even though the products on the shelves are fully certified and will meet your mission.
Well, a lot of people, I think, perceive the word green or green building as something that you're going to live in this really bizarre, almost like a yurt. Or you have to be an Ed Begley Jr.
Yeah.
And so here you have this Ecohome magazine. This also tied to Builders Home magazine. And what is it that is the real meaning that you hope people will take away from when you hear the word green?
Well, our mission editorially with Ecohome magazine is to show shining examples of green home construction and products that number one, are certified either within one of the green building rating systems or one of the product certification programs. So they have to cross that threshold. But we want to show good examples of residential design and construction that are appropriate for different markets, different price points, different architectural styles within different markets. So we cover the national scene, and you'll find homes in Ecohome that are contemporary, very traditional, Southwest. And from affordable housing and multifamily on up through to some pretty expensive custom homes that have everything in them.
And speaking of affordable, have you seen this KB home greenhouse? I mean, they're saying that this thing that's all tricked out could and will sell for $380,000.
Right.
And I think a lot of people feel, I can't afford green, that it's going to be just way out of reach.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad that you guys are pointing that out because, and that home is a very good example of taking a house from a leading production builder, something that they will put into any market at that price point, and it's net zero. And so the real magic of green building is integrating the features into the style and reducing the cost.
All right, so Rick, what is your magazine's website so people can find you?
It's EcoHomeMagazine.com.
Easy. All right. Well, the fun continues. Thank you for being with us, Rick. And still ahead, speaking of that KB Green Home, as we're broadcasting, Rick, thank you again. We're going to talk with Verve President Diane DeSeric about this great monitoring system that not only watches how much energy and water is used throughout the home, but how much it is producing. This is a home that is basically becoming a power broker. And then later on, we'll talk about security and color trends and all kinds of good stuff here as we're broadcasting live from the International Builders Show. We're at the Bear, a lounge with more great goodies to talk about. Cindy Dole and Eric Stromer, we're back right after this.